So I had a hangover this morning.
I bet he did.
Yeah, I'll let you fill that in.
Yeah. Super hangover. Decided to do truth about beer and comes in and he's like, I think I might be. I was like, oh, yeah, you are. Yeah. There's
Thank
no,
you,
I
Wendy.
think I might be. What? Oh, it's good.
Oh, I forgot to. Damn it! I forgot to put up. I was going to put up another.
Comes in and he's like, I think I might be.
Whoops.
We got double sound going on.
I know.
Welcome to Loop Arounds.
I forgot. I was going to put up another flyer and I forgot. And of course, I screw up the camera thing. Why do I always do this one?
What are you doing?
What a stupid son of a bitch.
There you go. Now it's on John.
Warning. The views in this program are based on the opinions of hosts and guests. We are four friends who like to sit around and talk about a variety of topics. This show may be political in nature and may appear one-sided if no one of opposition joins in on the conversation. We try to find common ground on sometimes sensitive topics. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's have a conversation.
You go home and cry to your granny. Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, you know. Oh, watch out for Keith.
Hi, y'all.
Hey!
Hey, we got someone new in the studio.
You want me to pick his nose for you?
Is that code for something?
No, it's a code for something for you.
Coming out?
It almost sounds
What?
like Darth Vader. He's
Talk into the microphone.
Hold on.
That actually does work.
Does it really?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm just getting ready for the new variant.
You're doing this. Is this for
Oh,
the whole
isn't it-
show?
Omicron.
I can't breathe as it is.
Omicron H. Well, you want me to put your mask on? Hold on.
No. I don't want to
Just
be like,
don't pass out.
I don't
Hold
wanna-
on. Come here. There you go. There's your mask.
I don't want to be like John and pass out.
You might pass out already.
Taking it off.
If you don't know about the pass out, watch last week's episode. At
Yeah.
least the first 30
No
seconds.
dogs were injured. Thank God.
Thank
Making
God.
that video, thank God. Yes.
Oh.
Welcome, everybody. It is Friday, January 28th, right?
Yes.
6th,
Jeez.
8th.
I know,
Oh,
we're
shit.
almost at
Good
the end of
Lord.
January.
God.
Scary.
Oh my God, it's almost
We
February.
are 1/12 of the way through 22. That's
Thank you for
honest.
Really?
Is that a good
Yeah.
thing?
Are you going to tell me how many days it is until Christmas?
Want me to? I can.
He should. Yeah,
Give
I think
me-
he should.
Give me about 10
Or how many
seconds.
paychecks? That's what freaks you out even more. How many paychecks if you get paid every other week until Christmas? And it's
True.
like 2020.
that. Well, it depends on when you get paid.
Yeah. It's like 18 to 20.
What does
Until
that
you
freak,
get-
Why does that freak you out, though?
Because people who have kids are like,
22.
oh my God.
There's
22?
2 paychecks.
They're still paying off this past Christmas.
Right.
What do you mean?
They're waiting for taxes to pay
20
off this last
22
Christmas.
paychecks for Keith and I.
So I would have 21 then.
I'm still waiting for my shit to come in on the ship. I don't know. Hasn't showed up yet.
You got to
You
give
like
me
that,
some warning.
Right? Sorry.
I don't understand.
I do it to myself all the time. Anyway, we got a lot to get to tonight, don't we?
We do.
All right, let's
Yes.
get going. Start memes of the week.
Yeah.
You did. I had to use all yours because yours were great.
But it's like so many.
It's okay. We'll
I
go
couldn't stop.
We'll go through.
I texted you on Monday and I said, I already have too many.
They were good though. I like them. All right, let's kick them off here.
All right.
I like that.
Biden warns Russia that if they invade Ukraine, America will evacuate haphazardly and leave
Yeah, no
86 billion in weapons behind. All right.
Right?
And they were like, we're doing it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
I saw this one, John, the other day. We saw this on Facebook.
That was the best. I sent that to Keith and he was dying. He's like, I'm sitting here looking for the fucking dog too. And I was like, yeah. Me too.
That is funny.
Isn't that great?
Isn't that the best thing ever?
That's
You know, you walked in and out of that room like 9 times.
Yeah, right?
Yelling for that damn dog.
So let me know if you don't understand.
I don't understand.
There's a couple more we got to go through first. So this should have been like the last one.
I didn't put them in any order. Sorry,
Okay.
but
So fine. So skip ahead too. Yeah.
was it this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So obviously, this is Neil Young,
Neil Young, yeah.
who made the comment to Spotify.
Shit, he got old.
Either get rid of Joe Rogan or take my songs off.
Right.
So they took his songs off.
So they took his song. What?
Awesome.
We're gonna get rid of the
Spotify.
biggest,
How many people listen to his songs? Like 5?
So yeah, well, that was the thing. And they said, so we're gonna take off the largest
Account
account on Spotify
or
for
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Felicia.
So then it goes to this one then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's terrifying.
In the Karen wig.
And then this one.
With the eyebrows. Wow.
Is it this one next?
Yeah. Then
Okay.
that
This is great. I love his.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. That is
Yes,
funny.
I would actually.
That is funny as hell.
Well, what about what's his name? Are we talking about what's his name in YouTube?
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Oh, for real.
Right?
Ain't that the damn truth?
Yeah.
From like 4 years ago.
It is scary
kinda-
how
it-
spot on they are.
It
you know?
is.
It's
And I don't
And I
watch
watched-
The Simpsons. I was never a fan.
I never did either.
But I have watched, some of the things that they've paralleled, and
Mhm.
it's like that is
Oh, how did they
crazy.
know?
yeah, it's scary.
That's
There's
crazy.
been actual documentaries on it, and they all swear, the writers all swear.
Like,
we just
we
come up
didn't
with
know-
this off
yeah.
the top of our, we pull this out of our ass, and this is just what happens.
That's crazy.
Did you see the one where they were chasing Bart around trying to get him the vaccine?
no.
Oh, it's freaking hilarious.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to.
They're
look
all
that up, too.
disguising themselves and chasing him around. It's, just, it's a
funny.
funny video. It's pretty funny.
This one makes me giggle so much.
For real. That's not funny, but it's funny.
Oh, it's
Think
awesome.
about when you were 14 and you were home alone and you was doing some weird shit.
Yep,
And you heard a
exactly.
car in the driveway and you're like,
It's like,
I can tell you for sure I never wore a wig like that, but
yours was long and pink. I know. It's fine.
this wasn't really funny, but it's kind of stupid because it actually made the headlines. But it just shows how
Fucking
fucked up
serious.
we
Well,
are.
they took
now
away-
they're all gender neutral.
They took
Yeah.
away
what?
They took away, weren't they, to begin with? They took away the green M&M's high heels.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
but the red one was so funny.
Yeah,
He was. Yeah.
He's not a he anymore. He's an it.
it's an it.
They're all it's.
This is funny.
This, yes, for you to pee in
Two.
to,
I like that one.
you know, they've been waiting years for that.
I saw this one. I had to put it on because it just cracked me up.
That shit's for real. So I went over story. So we were
Okay.
on a roller coaster at Cedar Point, and they have an old school roller coaster that's all wood, and it didn't go up and down or anything, but it went up and down, and
Wait, back that
like
Didn't go up and down,
it
but it
didn't
went.
go upside
up and down.
down,
up.
but it went
Upside
up
down,
and
but it
down.
went up and down. Okay.
My boob fell out. That happened. It was still in the t-shirt, so we were fine, but
Okay. There's a visual, Keith.
It happens.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can visualize it too.
so I can 100% attest to that.
This is so true too.
For
It
real.
is. It's scary too, isn't it?
I pulled this up the other day, and I actually thought this was like medical advice, but when I read through it, I was like, "Oh, that's fucking funny."
Oh, that's great. You're like, oh, it's a headache. Oh, I have that stress one. Oh,
Yeah.
shit, I have that one too.
So that was good. This was funny. I found this funny too.
No, for real.
Right?
Did you have a pager?
I did have a pager.
So
Bet you did.
I used to have a neighbor back in Illinois. She was an ER nurse. I shit you not, she would tell us the funky shit that would come in on a Friday or Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Kind of goes back to the meme with the wig.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she said, yeah, there was one time where a guy, he lost his pager.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was a
All the time.
colonoscopy nurse. Yeah. I mean, I'm not making this up. This is,
Oh, no.
this is
All the
total
time.
true. She
Oh,
said,
yeah.
yep, there was one time where, yeah, the guy just, the
Pagers
pager
and
was,
cell phones.
the pager was just a little bit too far that he couldn't reach it.
Yep. And cell phones.
What?
And vegetables and bottles.
I don't
and-
understand what possesses someone to say, you know what?
Let me
tonight
shove that.
I think I'm gonna put this where
Yeah,
the sun
time
doesn't
for a
shine.
shot.
Lots of
Yeah. Time for a
alcohol.
shot.
That's what does it.
Yes.
Let me shove that pager at my ass and see if it vibrates.
People are crazy. Love
They
issues.
are.
Put a string on it so you can
I
yank it
did
back
that
out. That's all I gotta say.
This one was good too.
Ah, thank
Right?
you.
Right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's too true.
Very
It
true.
is.
Yep.
It's sad but true. I love this one. And I'll put moment when your hand was off the strings.
That's awesome. What do I do now?
that was funny.
Oh,
This is good. I couldn't run a used car lot with 2 cars on it.
That is freaking hilarious. Can I get one of those signs? Can we put it on the back patio?
I love
Oh
the
my
fact that
God.
that's an actual restaurant.
Hell yes.
And Lindsay just sent me this one over tonight, which I don't know if you meant for me to put it up, but it's funny.
It is. It's cute.
It's funny as hell.
It's a Great Dane. Oh. He looks so sad. To the snip poo. Oh, that's not how the lyrics go. Oh, I thought it was cute.
That was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute, and it has a Great Dane.
It was
So-
funny. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
So
We need some cute stuff in there too.
yeah, it can't all just be about politics, right?
No,
Absolutely.
like the
can't.
pee into
No, we need funny
for
stuff.
you to pee into.
Yeah.
Well, is the news of the week funny or no?
Probably not.
No, unfortunately, it's a little.
Is news ever
It's
funny?
not.
It's
It's
not.
not
Oh,
all
yeah.
depressing, but it is.
It is.
It's enlightening.
Like when your
We'll call it
president
that.
shits in front of the fucking Pope. That's hilarious.
It's enlightening.
Okay,
So,
let's go to it.
gonna warn everybody, we redid the format, so it's a little bit different.
Oh, he has pictures now.
It's got pictures.
Oh,
So
look
obviously
at
the
that.
big headline of the week is that so Supreme Court Justice Breyer has decided to retire. Granted, I was going to use either this picture or Town Hall actually had one that was hysterical. It's the normal Supreme Court justices all sitting in their normal pose, and here comes the big hook from off stage. And, oh my god!
Oh, that's
'cause,
great.
I mean, he's because the theory is, and we can mention other things on Rumble and such, right?
Yes.
So, obviously, and actually he's one of the other headlines, Bongino got taken off of YouTube permanently banned.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
As of
And
what?
so-
Like
What did he
Wednesday?
do?
It was like Wednesday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about Bongino was he was already going off that.
He was
platform.
already off. So he got taken off, quote unquote, because of the fact that he had violated the terms of the agreement.
Yeah.
But the thing that allegedly violated was the video that said that he was leaving YouTube and going on Rumble. So it was hysterical in that respect. But he brought up a good point. So it was leaked, and everybody's heard the story that it was leaked, and he was mad because of the fact that he wanted to make the announcement himself.
Right.
And so they think that, the general overriding theme is that they wanted him to retire. They're so desperate to get a win out of this. And obviously it's got to happen before November. And that they leaked it out of the White House. That he had no point of, he couldn't change his mind.
Right.
So literally they just said,
Mm.
you're retiring.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
you're
and then he was like, well,
retiring.
shit, I guess I got to retire, don't I?
Oh, I'm so happy you're retiring. We'll have a party for you.
So I put on here, so obviously everybody's heard paves the way for Biden to nominate the first black female justice. Okay, whatever,
Is it actually going to be black and a female though?
Well, he specifically came out and said in a speech that it was race driven. The new
Yes.
nominee was race driven.
Yes. And I mean,
So-
and I, now I'm going to try and be as down the middle as possible. They did show this morning, Reagan had said in his first term that he was going to, if at all possible, going to find the best female justice to be able to put on the court. So he put Sandra Day O'Connor on there. And so she was the first female. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Nobody raised an eyebrow. So But the funny thing is that, so I put on here originally that the third line was going to be let the hypocrisy begin, but then it was also let the chess game begin, because now, as everybody's heard, the fact that they want to put, I'm sure you've all heard that they want to put Kamala. Well, not that they want to, but the conversations, it's Jen Psaki's being asked, is he considering putting Kamala in there?
How
Don't you have to be a lawyer?
She is.
She is.
Yeah.
Like not a hooker lawyer, like an actual lawyer,
But
like
how-
past
She
the
may
bar.
be the world's
She was a
worst lawyer.
prosecutor, wasn't she?
She was a
But hold on, how can they do that when she holds the title of like VP?
So
Right.
there's a little bit of a constitutional crisis in the fact that
Oh my God,
when
this
there's a
sucker's gonna be
tie,
Who's the deciding vote?
the deciding vote is the president of the Senate. So the
Of course it
president
is.
the vice president.
Right.
The vice president is the president of the Senate.
Conflict
so,
of interest, isn't it?
Now therein lies the constitutional crisis, because one side of the coin says that there is nothing in the Constitution that states what the vice president can or cannot vote for. But on the other hand, there are
Morally, it would be wrong.
moral and federal government morals. Okay. So
Yeah, I know.
then there is the other side of the coin that says that they, just, whatever you want to call it, other follow-on laws that said that it is a conflict of interest and she can't vote where it personally gains her. So they're trying to figure out what that's going to do.
Isn't that how
But-
she ended up as VP, Dad?
But when I put in here the chess game, it's going to be interesting to see, because originally my thought as of 2 days ago was like, what the hell? Let her happen. Let her have it. Who cares? Right. But then you start thinking the long game.
Mm-hmm.
And
She's
the
gonna be
long
in there
game is-
forever.
No, that has nothing to do with it. That just sidelines her, puts her over there. They're still outnumbered. It's not a
Well,
big
they would
deal.
have to put someone in the VP position then.
So there
becomes
becomes
the
the
problem.
long game, because now they could put in whomever they want. They could literally, there's nothing that says that it has to be anybody. They can literally they could pick up Hillary, drop her in,
Oh, good Lord.
and
Oh my Lord, baby Jesus.
and 25th Amendment Biden next week. Oh shit.
That's
That's
bad.
terrifying.
That's
That's
really
yeah.
terrifying.
That's legitimately, they could do that. If
That's
they can make
terrifying.
her do that, if they can move Kamala over there, they could put anybody in that VP spot and 25th Amendment the hot second afterwards. Interesting, isn't it?
Wake up, America.
Yeah, no kidding.
Seriously.
So go buy more ammo. Okay.
So that's,
that's
a whole
scary.
that's a whole
That's-
interesting
It
thing. I
is.
mean, and there's I thought of this yesterday and I was like, okay, wait a minute, that might be a bad thing.
That's a terrifying thing.
Hence the reason why all of a sudden you're starting to see, so Hillary is like popping her head up from out of
God, I
nowhere.
hate
Oh, she came out of the basement?
Yes.
Wasn't he talking about a run in 24 though?
Well, there was that, but now, I mean, what way to better, because everybody is
What
pointing
way
to
to
the
better
fact that,
serve than to
well,
be here
if the
now?
Democratic bench is so shallow, like they keep pointing to, and there is nobody really to take and pick up the reins to run with it, then now all of a sudden it looks like that makes the most viable choice, because technically you could, and pick anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, you could put somebody in that spot. Biden gets 25th out. That person now rides 3 years, can do a full new term and do a second new term.
Because they were never
And
nominated.
They could literally do
We could have
11 years.
yeah.
But I guess our only
10 and a
saving
half,
our only saving
I
grace
was
at
going to
that
say,
point.
isn't it 10 years a president can serve?
2 terms.
It's 2 terms,
Eight
but
years.
they were never nominated.
It does not
Okay.
count if they took over a term for a
Right.
previous.
It doesn't.
president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it didn't count, but I thought it was a certain period
Amount
of
of
time.
years.
No,
Okay.
the
No.
25th Amendment talks about the fact that it's
My bad.
can only
That's
be elected for 2
terrifying.
terms.
But the only saving grace to that is the fact that we have an election coming up in 24.
True.
That's the only saving grace. 'Cause
True.
we would have to vote them all out of office, but we don't know if that's going to happen or not. I mean,
Now say that again.
our only saving grace is 24, the
Yeah.
election. If we vote them out of office, even if they made Hillary VP at this
Yeah.
point, she can only go to 24 till the
Then she
election.
has to rerun.
Right.
And then
Then she
she'd
has
have
to
to
rerun.
rerun again. Right. So, yeah, we'd be stuck with her for 3 years, but
And can you imagine more,
2 years.
Can it get worse?
the more damage that could happen?
I think it could. I really did. I
Oh.
think it can get worse.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I think she's got more.
Savvy.
No, I think she's got more pull than Biden.
Well, then they talk about the fact that he tries to use the bully pulpit, which is basically the president standing up there and using what?
Dad says
Entering
the
a-
rumor is that Hillary will be entering a covenant next week.
Convent.
Oh,
Convent N, apparently. It's better than J or M.
yeah, but how?
I don't know what that means.
No, he's being funny.
Okay.
Do you not get the joke?
I get
No.
it. I
He's
get
being
it.
funny.
It was supposed to be jail.
Sorry,
I-
Dan.
I
I'm
wish-
I'm with you, Dan.
I wish no, because I wish it would happen.
See, we should just have Dan on the phone.
I don't understand.
All right, so gotta get on. So everybody, as we loosely referred to this morning, or not this morning, as at the beginning of the show. So obviously Biden called Peter Ducey from Fox a stupid son of a
Nice.
bitch. Yeah,
But
then
he did apologize, though.
no,
right?
technically he didn't.
I thought he called him.
He called and he said it's nothing personal.
Nothing
pal."
personal, right?
But he never said I'm sorry.
Mm.
He just said nothing personal.
Gotcha.
So obviously, Bongino has been banned from YouTube. He thinks it's actually hysterical. So, no harm, no foul.
I mean, is he on other channels then?
He's
on
on
Rumble.
Rumble.
Okay.
He
Yep.
transferred over to Rumble beginning
A while ago.
Gotcha.
Isn't he
last
part
year.
owner of Rumble? Or
Actually,
no?
he is.
Okay, that's what
Okay.
I thought. So
Data shows that more diversity at gun ranges than in university faculty lounges right now.
Doesn't surprise me.
I thought that was an interesting
that
article.
is interesting.
It's a very interesting little tidbit of data.
Did you see that
Oh,
it
come
was
on.
announced that Minnie Mouse is now getting a pantsuit?
What?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not against that.
You
Then
know,
what's
leave
wrong with the
Not
red
all
polka?
girls wear skirts.
I get that, but
It's a
you
red
know what?
polka dotted dress that's
It's
been
the-
around since
Yeah.
the
She wears the
50s.
same thing for the
Just like
past
the
50
M&Ms.
years.
Let her have her high heels and let her be.
It's the
woman doesn't have
point. It's
pants
the
on.
point.
Come
it's
on
not,
now.
It's not a matter of sometimes women wear pantsuits. That's fine. It's the point that they're trying to do. That's the thing.
Right.
Like
Don't-
that
don't- don't
really
get me
just
st- yeah, it's,
ruffled
it's
your
fucking
feathers.
irritating.
It's like putting
It's
a bow
irritating.
tie on Mickey Mouse.
It's just stupid. We have
Or
nothing
not a
else.
bow tie,
So
but
can he get rid
a
of the
big old
sus-
bow on
Are you
his
saying
head.
that Mickey Mouse can get rid of the suspenders?
We have the highest
Donald
inflation
Duck
in
has the
40
bow tie,
years,
okay?
and we're concerned about what the fuck Minnie Mouse is wearing. Come on, seriously.
We really are because
that
it
screwed up?
distracts us.
Yes, we
It's
are.
so stupid.
Because it distracts us, just like we got rid of
It is a
pancakes
distraction.
and syrup
Yes.
because we thought that it would change the world.
Yeah.
But it makes
and
a-
you're
but it-
absolutely right. It's a
It's
distraction.
distraction.
But it does make a difference if all of a sudden the red M&M is not male. But anyhow, I'm going to blow through these a couple quickly. Jobless claims dropped to 260,000, suggesting the economy is dodging the worst of Omicron. The economy grew at 5.7% in 21, fastest pace since 84.
Question about that though. How
Mm-hmm.
are we growing when the Dow dropped like 1,000 points?
So this was for
Like-
2021. The
Oh,
Dow was dropping in
2021, sorry.
22. So they're saying that obviously now inflation is causing a drag.
Oh yeah, now we're
And-
crashing.
And the last few things that I've been hearing is that, if the invasion of Ukraine actually happens, then that may trigger something bad to happen with the economy. Obviously, if the Fed raises rates, that could trigger it. We'll see. I get mixed messages on whether the Fed should or shouldn't raise rates.
Okay.
So rates are going to actually have to be risen to a certain extent to hedge off inflation, but at some point, when you overdo it.
Yeah. Just keep printing money.
Federal Reserve
Yep.
indicates plan to hike U.S. interest rates in March.
Of course.
The Russian-Ukraine conflict escalation would make inflation worse, according to the International Monetary Fund. Goldman Sachs says the bull market is intact. Stocks still off, not yet in danger zone. A flying car certified to fly,
That's
paving
awesome.
way for mass production of very efficient flying cars. 1/3 of airplane pilots are still not flying due to the pandemic. That's worldwide.
Wow.
IMF urges El Salvador to drop Bitcoin as its official currency.
Interesting.
U.S. semiconductor chip shortage poses a national security risk, according to the Commerce Department. So there actually is a bill that's on the floor of the Senate, I think, as of right now, trying to get that pushed through. England, everybody heard, I think, that England lifted all face mandates.
Good for them.
everything.
Woohoo! Get the
basically
diapers
saying-
off your face.
They're basically saying just go back to work. Everything is normal.
Did you hear New York did that with the schools though too? That was surprising to me.
In New York,
I
did that?
New York
Don't
took away the
believe-
mask mandate for the schools.
For the schools?
Yeah.
What?
But then I saw a picture.
But
that
they
was
left
posted-
everything else.
Yeah.
But I saw a picture 2 days
Oh.
ago of the new governor, so the interim governor,
Mhm.
and she was standing in front of 3 like grade school kids, and they all had masks on. So
Was it
They're
an
not
old,
at
old
school.
picture though? I mean,
she's only been governor for 2 months, but
yeah, because the
I mean-
news just came out. I saw the article. I didn't read into it, but it said that New York canceled mask mandates for schools. So
we'll have to
That's
look into
interesting.
that.
yeah, I
So
thought that was-
obviously everybody has seen that there's been just a huge surge in police shootings, actually going out and shooting cops. There was
Yep.
the funeral today for the 2 New York cops.
So sad.
There was a handful of cops that got shot in Houston, St. Louis, and Milwaukee in the last handful of days.
I
It's
saw the one
crazy.
for Milwaukee.
UK gun license reform is something that becomes a warning to Americans. We someday will have time for the 15 most bizarre things at the TSA. Video shows federal contractors flying illegal immigrants into New York at night.
dude, I heard about that.
What?
I
today.
saw the
was
video.
listening.
So these were New York cops
Yeah.
that were out there and they were videotaping it and they're going, this is BS.
Mhm.
They are none too pleased about this. Did you hear about? So
Sorry.
Mayorkas had a meeting with the Border Patrol. Did you hear about this?
Hmm.
No.
So somebody audio taped it, or probably videotaped it, but basically Mayorkas said, I know the policies of this administration are not particularly popular with U.S. Customs and Border Protection, but that's the reality, and let's just see what we can do within the framework. And then further on, he was recorded as saying, look, it's worse now than it frankly has been in the last 20 years, if not ever. And he basically says, I understand your frustration.
But what are they doing about it? They understand
Well, I
it.
mean, there was one point where one of the officers stood up in reading the transcript. One of the officers stood up, made a comment to him, and turned his back to Mayorkas. Mayorkas said, you can turn your back on me, but I will never turn my back on you. And he says, you did months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh,
I don't know if it was the same interview, but they play tape of maybe it was one of the border agents saying that every time one of those guys come down there, they're followed up within the next day by like 50 buses, and they just pack it with illegals and they take off.
yeah. So
And nobody ever hears from them again. Nobody knows what happens. to
Border
them.
Patrol is frustrated.
Mhm.
Frustrated.
But yeah, I thought so they fly them from the border, they drop them off somewhere in New York at like 3:30 in the morning.
And then a bus
And they
picks
just
them up.
they just let them go. They just let them go out into the public, and nobody sees or hears from them again.
Right.
Nobody knows what
They
happens. to 'em.
disappear. They basically,
Freaking nuts.
they get on a bus, they disappear. They get on an airplane.
and
they
we've heard
disappear.
this from other people saying
Absolutely. It's happening all over the country. There's
Yeah.
Yep.
you have legitimate senators and congressmen that are saying that every town is a border town. Every
Mhm.
state is a border state. These illegal immigrants are being taken everywhere.
Yep.
There was a conversation today about somebody is suing the Biden administration. I want to say, I think it's Texas, because now there's a new policy that might be in play that says something to the effect of, if you are a family member of an illegal immigrant in the United States, you can come across.
Yeah, because
So
once
it's
you're here, you can bring everybody else over.
So now it's chain migration to illegals.
Yep.
It's like, where does it stop? Where do the floodgates stop? So there was another one, I forgot to actually put it up, but illegal immigrants in the United States right now technically rank as the 4th largest state
Mhm.
in the country.
I don't doubt that.
I'm sure.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Don't doubt it.
Larger than Arizona.
Yep. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Did you hear something about it was either Afghans or people from Afghanistan getting dropped off at Luke Air Force Base, and then they took a bus and dropped them off in Scottsdale? Did I hear
Yes,
something like that?
I read that.
I caught the tail end
Yeah.
of it on one of the radio programs I listened to the other day, and I was like, "What? Is that true?"
This is the second time this has happened. It happened again previously, June or July of last year, if I remember correctly. I read the article about
Is
that.
it Afghanis or is it Americans coming back?
It's
Is it-
Afghanis.
It's Afghanis. Well,
It's the
this
Afghans.
currently it's Afghanis.
It's the
Previously,
Afghans
I don't know,
who helped the U.S.
but they currently it is. I don't know about previously what was there last year. It's a defunct hotel in Scottsdale that they actually are. And so people were out there protesting and such, and they have armed guards. And the question I had, I read the whole article and I couldn't figure out if the armed guards were for the protesters or for the people inside.
Right.
I'm not sure. So I thought this was a fitting cartoon, just because of the fact that, obviously Pelosi announced that she is going to run again.
What?
Are you serious?
I thought she was supposed to retire.
That old hooker needs to just have a
Yes.
stroke.
Nope, she said that for the kids, she needs to run one more time.
For the kids.
You know
What
what? Whoever
kids?
votes her in, you're an idiot.
Her grandkids?
Great grandkids at this
No,
point.
she's for the, she's talking
for the
about
younger
for the
generation.
generation.
Just look at California, people. That's all I got to say. Just
Look
at
in
the-
San
look at the
Francisco, where
images
she
coming
represents.
out.
Just
Yeah,
look
exactly.
go to. I mean, Wendy and I love San Francisco. At least a handful of years ago, wouldn't go there today.
Is
No.
it San Francisco where we went to go to Alcatraz?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
there's a guy shitting on the sidewalk. I'm good.
It really was. Just drop trout
Dropped
right there.
his
and
pants
just-
right
and
down
it never used to be
just
that way.
shit on the
I mean,
ground.
granted, they had their homeless issues, but I
Every-
have
every big
no
city
desire to
does.
go now.
Every big city does. You're gonna
Right.
have your homeless
Absolutely.
population, but literally shit down the what is it by the beach, by the water
The Embarcadero.
the
down
boardwalk.
boardwalk.
Yeah.
boardwalk.
Literally just dropped
I don't
his
know who
pants and
this
shit.
bias to books is. but
On
he
what,
really-
like
I
Pier
like it.
34 or Pier 39?
Yeah, it was by Alcatraz. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you used to think about California used to be, you thought prestige, right? It was where all the actors were, all the famous people
That's where all
lived.
the money
It was
is.
glamour, Hollywood Boulevard, a great place to go, a great place to visit. San Francisco, same
Not
thing.
anymore.
Now, I mean, did you see the images released a couple weeks ago with the train running through LA?
Yeah,
all the
isn't that
trash.
crazy?
So what they do is they wait. I guess these robbers wait for the trains to stop, and they jump on the trains and start offloading.
Right.
Cargo.
And there's just
Really?
like,
They're robbing the trains.
yeah, crap everywhere.
Yeah, there's.
Oh my god.
It's disgusting. It looked like a third world country.
Yeah,
You
it
see.
does.
And even
yeah, we
Gavin,
drove.
Gavin
it's like,
Newsom
this is
said,
the U.S.
Gavin Newsom's like, "What the hell's going on? Your state sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
And you guys are running into the
And
ground.
guess
That's
what?
happened.
You're the reason why.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when we drove down there, I hadn't been to California in years, like 15 plus years. And we're driving down there, and literally each freeway overpass is a homeless community.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Down the
Yes.
sides of the
Unbelievable.
freeway, down the hills on the side of the freeway is houses. It's tents. It's people are living on the side of the freeway.
Mhm.
You know,
Like,
when-
what the what?
so you have the overpass and you have a steep hill that comes down right by
Yeah.
the freeway, and they have
Yep.
the fences that keep you from the freeway. There's tents right up against those fences.
Yes.
I mean, people were just camping. It was
it's
disgusting.
crazy.
Disgusting.
I mean, we see that around here too. It's not
Not to
as
that degree.
Not on the
Yes.
freeways.
Not to that degree.
I've never seen somebody living on a freeway. Never.
I have seen them up
This-
underneath the, where you were talking the steep
Yeah,
embankments.
yeah.
They're up at the top.
oh, at the
right.
crease under
By the bridge,
thing.
yeah.
Yes.
But
yeah.
not tented, not living like, I mean, the
No, they're just-
whole
and they're
side of
just-
the
Yeah.
hill was
And-
just garbage and tents, and it was disgusting.
But
Yeah.
now it's downtown San Francisco. It's on the Embarcadero. It's on Fisherman's Wharf. It's it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Which is really sad. And if I was a resident, I would be really
I'd be
pissed off.
pissed.
It's crazy. It's
Wow,
just,
that's crazy.
It's just insane.
It's oh
Then
my
there's
God.
Ukraine. So while the president's off getting ice cream, we're sending 8,500 troops over to Eastern Europe to be on high alert. Blinken, our wonderful Secretary of State, is warning U.S. civilians, get the hell out now. And you probably also heard that they evacuated the families of the embassy.
No.
Oh no.
I did hear that. yes.
Families of embassy staff have all been evacuated. And so
Wow.
it's so
Ooh.
bad to the point that the Ukrainian
That's not a good
president had
sign.
the Ukrainian president had to say, "Would you stop?
You're freaking people out."
Freaking people out." And it is interesting. So this link here actually is, as funny as it sounds, I actually found a Ukrainian paper that's written in English.
Really?
What?
So
Oh,
this
that's
is
interesting.
this is a Ukrainian Global Voice, the Kiev Post. They've been publishing this since 1995. So
Wow.
the one thing that I found was interesting is they are not sitting there with, now granted, I don't know what their formats are for it's not like it's the New York Times or the LA Times or
Yeah.
Chicago Tribune or whatever. So I don't know if they have big gigantic headlines, but it doesn't look like these guys are necessarily, I mean, it is, Russia, Okay, the president and the in Russia. So I mean, it is kind of all about, hey, this thing may not look real good, but I mean, it's not like there's gigantic headlines going, all right, everybody better get food and water because this is going to go bad. I don't know. I don't know what to go. The other thing that I kind of looked it up was interesting. Again, I think I researched this stuff too much, but there's actually 2 parts of eastern Ukraine on the border with Russia that quote unquote seceded. So it'd be the same as like, California and Oregon seceding from the United States.
Right.
Or let's say actually more like, like Washington State and Montana seceded and to Canada. And so the Canadians are not crossing the border, but they're sending arms and everything across the border to help out Montana and Washington to shoot back. And this, to be surprised, this has been going on since 2014.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Did not know that.
It's been
That's
going
a
on
long-
for a long
that's 8 years.
time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
been this-
hasn't the Russian threat to Ukraine been ongoing? I mean, it's
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not like
because
something that
Russia
just
wants to get
happened.
back to its former glory.
right.
And so Putin has not been shy about that fact that he wants, it's no different than China wanting Taiwan back into the
Mhm.
fold. Russia wants to get back to the former Soviet Union the way it
Yeah.
used to be. And Ukraine is, they say, the size of Texas, roughly. So it's a huge,
Oh, it's pretty big then.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fairly big. It's one of the larger of
States.
the Eastern European countries or European countries in general. It's like it's either almost the size or slightly larger than Germany.
Hmm.
If you did, I mean, I didn't know this.
I didn't know that.
So, I had some, I mean, there was back in the beginning of the week, there was all this talk about Jim Crow laws and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I had this whole thing, but I'm not even going to go into it. We'll talk about this all later. Cause it talks about, I had all this stuff about Jim Crow laws. But I did think that it was interesting. I'm going to start putting in a few key quotes here and there. I thought this was a great one from Abraham Lincoln. I said that some achieve great success is proof that others can achieve it as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There is nothing what is the one thing you used to tell me all the time is if somebody else can do it, I can learn to do it too.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Man, scary stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Scary
Right.
Freaked me
Enlighten me.
out.
You want to go? I got a new segment. Well, it's actually an old
Uh-oh.
segment.
Okay.
John's favorites.
All right.
All right. So there's a song. There's a new song.
Oh,
out.
you heard that by Kid Rock?
Have you
I was going to
heard
point
this?
that out to you. Yeah.
Oh, I got
did
it.
hear
I
it.
got it downloaded. So
I have
It's
not
It's
heard
actually
it.
pretty good.
Kid
It's
Rock's
a-
a patriot.
it's kind of interesting, and I'm gonna see if I can jump ahead a little bit, but.
Oh, that's going to become
Oh,
my new
I was-
like.
I had to go into town
Oh,
yesterday and for a business meeting, and I'm jamming out to that. I don't know how many times in my truck, so it was quite hysterical. And
where is that the lyrics?
that's
We the
lyrics.
people and all we do reserve the right to scream, fuck you. Hey, yeah. Wear your mask, take your pills. Now a whole new generation's mentally ill. Fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We got to act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does the media embraces. Big Don does it, and all they call him is racist. We the people, let's go, Brandon. Fuck Facebook, fuck Twitter too, and the mainstream media, fuck you too. Inflation's up, and the minimum.
You're not going to read the whole thing. are you?
Yeah.
I was going to.
Just
No,
listen to
don't read the whole thing.
just listen
That's
to the song.
amazing.
Listen to the song; it's really good.
Yeah. We the People by Kid Rock.
That's cool.
Yeah, it actually. I want to say I thought I heard that on Newsmax today that it might be the #1 downloaded song right now. in
I
the
don't
country,
doubt it.
but
I bet
I'm
it
not,
is.
don't
Yeah.
quote me on that. That might not actually be accurate. So
Well, it's going to
Oh.
get about what 10 more downloads here because I know all our people are going to go download
Yep.
it.
Absolutely.
So, do we want to jump into socialism?
Yeah,
we
let's
wanna
do it.
something else.
No,
I
let's
mean,
do it.
Socialism.
Let's keep going.
Uh,
Oh my God! So
That's what the topic is.
I reached out to. So I had talked to.
Did she call you back?
Oh,
No.
that's right.
No.
Oh,
So I had
need to
reached
reach
out
out
to
her.
the local representative of the Socialist Party of USA, And I sent her a nice email saying that, we would be respectful. We would not call her any names. There wouldn't be, it would just be a friendly debate. Just wanted to have her side represented. And unfortunately, she did not answer. So, I mean, there's always a
Right,
possibility
Angela?
that maybe it went to junk mail. She didn't know it. I mean, I think there's a few times where I've accidentally deleted an email,
Yeah.
not realizing who the person is. I don't know. So, I mean, I don't want to cast judgment that she ignored us, but we
I'll
tried.
email her.
We tried. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, I don't know if I'm even going to worry about it at this point. The ship has passed. And
I want to email her.
so, taking off their website, one thing that I thought was interesting was a classless, feminist, socialist society free of racism, sexism, So why is it a feminist, but it's free of
Sexism,
right?
homophobia, and transphobia, but it's feminist,
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. This is literally copied and pasted.
Then maybe
right off
she
their
does need
website.
a woman to email her.
And so it had all these different things. I have a bunch of different things that talk about it. I didn't know how much you wanted to get into it. I highlighted a few things: the objectives of socialism, ideology. I got the history of socialism.
Hold on, go back up. Go back up.
But see, you want to read everything, so I'm gonna have to start.
Objectives of socialism. Property, disease, and ignorance shall be eliminated.
Yes.
So my property that I own.
Yep.
No, you don't know. There is no private
There is
property.
no
owned.
private property.
Everybody,
Under
yeah,
socialism.
It's all part of the collective.
yeah.
Right.
If you're lucky, they'll give you a place to live.
So what I own, they're going to take from me.
Yep.
You don't own anything.
You're
Yeah.
not going to own it. You're going
No.
to give it to the general.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Right.
I will when you pay rent to live in it.
Interesting fact. So I did
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
seriously.
That's the
Interesting.
whole idea.
You changing your
behind
mind
it.
about socialism now?
Yeah, suck my wiener.
There was
You're not taking what I worked for.
but you're working for the social collective.
I did. I worked for my damn self, and I got my damn my
that's where you're
own
wrong.
damn paycheck.
You're not working for yourself. You're
Hey,
working
I am a
for the
feminist.
collective.
I was going
Shut
to say
up.
you're working for the better good of the whole.
I did
Yes.
work for the better good of the whole people because I then spent my paycheck to pay for your paycheck.
There have so in
Yeah,
this-
fuck socialism. You're not taking my shit.
So in some of the research that I did this week, I found that there have actually been 4 different communities that have tried to do socialism over the years in the United States.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Like communities or like states?
like communities.
Like
So,
cities?
like this one guy, and if I go up here and if I click on this, and this is actually from the History Channel. This is not like it's some right wing blah blah blah.
Dad
whatever.
agrees.
But these guys, I mean, as an example, this is in Indiana. They built like a castle.
Oh, really? We're at in Indiana.
I'll go live in a
Harmony,
castle.
Indiana.
Harmony. I've
Is that
never
a
heard
castle
of
or a compound? Those
It's
are
a compound.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and the thing is, unfortunately, and so they got some. I mean, the guy that originally developed this, not to get too far down into the weeds in it, he actually, the guy that financed it, had a lot of money. He ended up getting a bunch of intellectuals from the East Coast to come on out and join the community. Unfortunately, it collapsed in about 4 years. And I don't mean physically. I mean like it broke down and it dissolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It couldn't work. And every one of them, the 4 different communities that all tried it, it just didn't work. So they got all these different. I mean, they talk about,
Wow, that's a beard on that dude.
that's Karl Marx.
Yeah.
I don't know who Karl Marx is.
Really?
Are you judging me?
So
I
he is the
am,
guy
kind of a
that
little
Are you
bit.
judging
A
me?
little bit.
he's the guy that wrote the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah.
He's the guy that basically
Mr. Communist.
Wow, why are you guys judging?
Hence
Why are
the
you
term-
judging me?
Hence the term Marxism.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you hear the term Marxism, that's who it's pertaining.
who's-
It goes back to him and his
Dan.
ideology.
Dan, call
Uh-oh.
Lindsay's phone.
No. He will. Don't tell him that.
So, because Dan was talking about Marxism last week.
Yeah.
In the
Sorry.
in the comments,
We didn't
So-
learn about that in school. Well, we might have, but I wasn't actually
you
there.
were
So
not paying attention. Jeez.
No, I wasn't actually there.
So, but it was just interesting because there is an article in the History Channel that talks about the 4 different places.
That's interesting.
And so, unfortunately, none of them survived. They all had problems. They all ran into the same issues that all socialism seems to have, in that not everybody wants to work at their hardest.
Let's jump forward to, during all the riots and stuff. Was it Portland or Seattle that had that certain section blocked off, and that was their kind of similar what they were trying to do, but it just didn't work.
It didn't work. It ended up having, people that were scared for their lives, people that were getting raped and killed and things of that nature. I mean, the cops were getting called every night, but then the cops ended up not going in.
Well, that's part of the utopian world, that everyone's doing what,
their own thing is. Yep.
So, and if anybody that doesn't believe, go and do the actual research on socialism, not the stories that are written by mainstream media. Go and do the actual hard work and look it up, and you'll find out that it's very much rooted in, actually, socialism ironically dates back to, several say that it dates back to Plato. So
that doesn't surprise me.
So that's what, the 16th century.
Yep.
So Plato wrote about it in this utopian type socialistic society.
Yeah, I did run across something like
Sometimes that. Sometimes the fragments of school actually
comes out. Yeah.
Has he been drinking? Dan, have you been drinking?
I don't know. Groucho Marx. That's awesome.
He is funny today. So, but then, obviously it's come and gone. The first country to actually put it into play was Australia. France has tried it.
Did they fully implement it though, or did they sort of implement it?
They sort of implemented it, and so you'll get the protagonists, or whatever you want to call it. That's probably not the right use of the word. That will sit there and say that they didn't fully embrace it, so that was why it failed. Yada yada yada. Okay.
How would you fully embrace it though? So let's say they took the U.S. and turned it into socialism.
So the whole
February
idea,
1st.
So here's what
how
they
would you
have
do
to,
that?
So how would you do that? So socialism. So public ownership. They own everything. So going back to kind of so what the research is, that the state would own, like we said last week, would own major infrastructure, major industries, such as transportation, energy,
water.
Well, things like that, food production, things, and then the state doles it all out.
How so?
Well, in the fact that, you just get your token, and this is for you to be able to get your food and water. You get your token, and so on.
Everyone gets their own token.
Then?
Everybody gets the same equal amounts of food and water.
Okay, sure.
Everybody gets the same equal amounts of housing. Everybody gets the same equal amounts of, and the other part of that.
But how do you do that though? Do you literally come and start ricking people out of their houses? What do you do?
Well, the implementation part would be hard, because you're going to have pushback, because nobody's going to want to give up
their house that they work for. Yeah.
And I don't care who they are, unless they're living, I'm sure that the higher class people that have the more expensive houses, that have worked hard, that have gone to school, doctors, lawyers, whatever.
Scottsdale's, yeah.
They're going to say, I'm not moving out of my house. I worked hard for this. I'm sure.
But then who moves into it? That's what I'm saying.
Well,
if it's halved
the other
up,
part of it, because then those that didn't work hard for it, those that didn't have the opportunities to be able to go to school to become a lawyer, or didn't have the smarts, or whatever the case may be, then they're looking to move up. And the problem with the bottom line problem with all socialism is the fact that everybody thinks that there's a certain high level of living that happens, and that's not true. It's been proven over and over and over again that the overall standard of living is pretty low.
Yeah, it's going to go down.
It's going to go down. So
you don't bring people up. You just bring
it brings people down.
It makes a level playing field for everybody.
Right.
Basically.
And if you look at it, so communism is a political system. It's not a social economic system. Socialism is a social economic system. So Russia and China, who are both communists, Cuba, which is communist,
That's all political.
but that's the political side of it. But their economy is still socialistic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if you go and you look, and North Korea and Cambodia, there's like 5 communist countries in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so they all have incredible amount of poverty in their country. They say that, like China is a prime example. Those that live in
The
both
cities
Hong
are
Kong
more,
and Shanghai do okay.
but anything.
But they literally have like
outside
the
of-
size of a bathroom for their apartment.
Right. But anybody outside
Yeah, but
of
if
that-
you
well,
live
you
out in
look
the
at- have you ever
country,
looked at what-
You get nothing.
Your
Yeah.
poverty. You are very poor.
why are there still very wealthy people living in China, Russia, and Venezuela if they're a communist country? Because there are the elites that run everything.
And
There
your
are the-
elites will always have, they'll always have that fine, what do you want to call it? All the fine things that people want.
Right. It's an interesting, and I was going back, so kind of pivoting back a little bit to some of the things I said last week, in the fact that it was an interesting, going back to, I like some of the industry aspects of World War II, and it was something that they said in one of my favorite documentaries that we can't understand, is that the World War II, the vast majority of American GIs could drive. And so everybody could drive a tank or a truck or a whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yet Germans, as a prime example, and the Japanese, only the very rich knew how to drive. And so they actually had to teach somebody
The
how
GIs how to
to
do it.
drive a truck or how to drive a car or a tank. They couldn't
Really?
just jump in and figure it out because of the fact that the social class, other than the elites, didn't have cars.
That's
And
true.
that's still the case very much now. Now there is, I hear, a growing middle class in China, but again, that's only in Shanghai, Hong Kong, those
Like in the city, yeah.
in the cities. And they say the vast majority, like 90% of the rural area of China, is very, very poor.
Mm-hmm.
Like still,
Like
oxen,
in huts and
like
yeah.
oxen to be able to pull your stuff and all
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Very poor. So
Gotcha, Dad.
he's killing me.
Yep. Dan's on a roll.
So I don't know if you could actually really pull it off, but the idea is, if you had to put it in general terms, it would be that you would have to turn all your private ownership over to the state. You would have to turn all your businesses over to the state. Now, democratic socialism
Yeah,
says
because it's
that
all owned by the state.
democratic
There is
Okay,
socialism.
Private ownership. Because that's
so if I'm not getting a paycheck to go to work, why am I going to work then?
because you're
because you
getting
go to
your
work for
token.
the state.
Right. You work for the state.
But
Right.
what am I getting out of going to work?
You get to
You get your
your
token.
You're
food allotment.
contributing.
I get my food contributed whether I do it or not.
And
Not
therein
necessarily.
lies
No,
part
that's
of
not
There's the
part
other
of-
issue
true,
is that
though.
that socialism requires, and I said this last week too.
Yeah.
Socialism requires everybody to work.
Yeah, you can't just sit on your ass. And do
So
nothing.
unless you have a debilitating setback, a disease,
So why don't we use
you
that
know,
for the
you-
welfare
I have
system?
a disease.
You,
Can milk that baby.
and you might be able to, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes. So I go to work. So does this mean that I don't have to work like more than 40 hours? I can only do my 40?
That's what they say. Well, technically they try to say that you only have to work 30 something. They try to say that, remember that graph I showed that, and so they try to promote that they don't
But I'm
try
going to work less
that they
hours.
You're going to work less,
But I'm not going to be able to buy things that I enjoy to be able to enjoy myself when I get home.
There you go.
There you go.
So why would I work?
There again
You have to work.
is the hitch to
Yeah.
the whole thing. Because
Yeah, but I
if
can
you're
go to
gonna
work and do
less-
nothing.
But if you can work less, then you don't have to. There's no incentive, and there's where it all.
The
starts to
reason why I
fall
work
apart.
is so that I can have cool shit. If
right,
you're going to take away my cool shit, what's the point in me going to work?
right.
Well, and you have the choice. That's what it is.
Just saying.
but now it's not to have. Cool
And if
shit.
you're going to take my
now
house,
it's to have, because again, Bernie
bread
likes
on the table,
Bernie
because he
likes
wants me to
bread
stand in a
lines.
bread line.
He likes bread.
I don't
lines.
eat bread.
So he wants everybody to be able to stand in the bread line because they are getting bread.
I don't
This
eat
is
bread.
the
What's
guy-
my problem?
Technicalities.
Technicalities, damn it.
This is the
there
guy-
a steak line? Can I stand in that one?
Let's not forget Bernie
Steak, what's
Sanders.
that?
Bernie Sanders, let's not forget, he went to Cuba for his honeymoon.
He's married?
But didn't he
Yes.
study Marxism
Seriously?
at some point in his
That I don't
early
know.
career?
That I don't
I need a
know.
drink
I
for
thought-
this. Wendy,
That I don't know.
I
That could
can't-
be true, but I
I
can't.
can't give up my
remember
house
that.
if I'm not going to have a drink.
I
This is
thought he
awful.
published some paper on it.
It's very possible.
So like, this is awful.
Right. I think
So
this
you're
is what we've been talking about.
You're going to take my house that I live in that I worked for.
Yes.
Yep.
You're going to take my business.
Yes.
You're going to take my investment home.
Yes.
And you're going to make me stand in line for bread.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea, doesn't
I'm
it?
going to go down
And-
with the fight. I'm going
And
to let
going
you know
back
that
and going
right
back to what we
now.
talked about last week, and the fact that there's central planning too. So you're going to get free or relatively free healthcare, but they're also
Yeah, I'm good.
But they're going to tell you what you have to do to be able to keep that free healthcare.
I'm
Because
good.
because it's the same old story, and I think it was Thomas Jefferson that said those, or no, actually Ben Franklin that said those that can give you stuff can also take it away.
Mhm.
True.
I'm good.
Yeah, and
I'm way
that's the
good.
thing. I mean, in a utopian world that everyone's doing what they're supposed to, great. But let's
But
face
again,
it,
are we really though? Because if I don't have to work that 50 hours to keep my salary job, why would I? Why would I? I'm going to do bare minimum even when I go to that job because you're not going to fire me. You
right,
can't.
right. And I mean, I've never been
Absolutely
a,
right, Christine.
a-
You're absolutely right.
a fan of unions, but unions are
I
kind
remember
of
that. I was
But
little.
Wendy brings up a good point, and therein lies part of the so we were having last week my final thoughts, and I had on there several different examples, and that's another good example because while overall I think the unions are very good, and they brought around
they brought a
good-
lot of change. They brought a lot of
needed.
social change,
Right.
and I think their time was coming past, but I think they're needed again for that because it seems like we're taking advantage of the working class again. But the
Yep.
thing that I don't like about unions is the fact of
it promotes laziness.
it promotes laziness because no
does.
matter if this person's working hard or this person isn't, you're getting the same amount of pay. So people are like, well, why should I work that hard?
Right.
If you're not.
And I
they
know for
were-
a fact, anybody that wants to debate me on this for unions, pro-union, and I'm not anti-union. I'm just saying that I do know for a fact, and I've seen this multiple times over and over and over. I've worked for union companies, and the fact that there is a general precedent that happens that when you work harder than the rest, you are shamed.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
my
True,
brother
yeah.
worked for the union, for
Yeah.
the state, for the years, and that was the thing. He was a hard worker, and everyone's like, "Dude,
Dude,
stop! You're making us all look bad."
Yeah.
And you become the outcast. You become
Hey, Taylor.
Well, that was hi Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
So
Hi, Taylor.
that was one of the things they were actually talking about in the hospital before everything fell apart and they fired all the nurses. They were talking about bringing the unions in.
And I wouldn't have a problem with the unions if they took the model of we're going to evaluate everyone and people get raises based on
Same thing
What-
like you did.
well,
like
and
you
there-
worked
and
before.
there is-
in a private company. I
Right.
wouldn't have a problem with the unions. That's my only beef with them is that everyone gets the same raise across the board. If they had if they instituted something else, I would be like,
Yeah.
Yay.
So Joe Schmo, who sits on his ass all day, gets the same raise as I do.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same pay for everybody. But on the flip side, I mean, going
Is that
back
really
to
how it is for unions? Like
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
gets the same pay?
same pay for
Everyone
everybody
has the
across
same
board.
pay. So, like, if you're a journeyman, you get the
Seriously?
same
So
pay.
if I've been there 20 years and you walk in off the street 1 year and you're going to make the same pay I do?
no,
If you are
because
the
you wouldn't be
same-
a journeyman. You would be.
An apprentice.
okay,
But
okay,
all journeymen make the same pay. Now they
Oh,
may have
okay. And then
they
when
may
you move
have
up, you
yes,
move up. Oh,
different-
okay, okay.
they may have different levels of because there are supervisors and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But yes, for the most part,
Okay.
They all make the same.
If you're within the same pay
The same
grade,
range. Okay.
the same grade, you
Okay.
make the same.
I think the idea originally of unions was a great idea. I think that
Yes.
it kept companies from screwing people over.
Absolutely.
Really, that's what they were designed for.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a good idea. I just found out recently. I didn't even know.
Oh,
I
Keith's part of a union.
I was part of the carpenters union way back in like the late 90s.
Oh,
when I worked
really?
For a fireplace company. They
Okay.
required us to, in Vegas, we had to be part of the carpenters union. I never realized I had a retirement account with them.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I just
Yep.
got a statement.
Yeah, he
from
keeps
them.
he
And I'm
kept
like, what
getting
the
the
hell is
statement.
this?
I was like, you need to call this, and he's like, it's nothing. And he
I'm-
kept throwing it away. And so we got one this year, and I was like, no, baby, you need to call on this. And
Yeah.
he calls, and he was like, they have a retirement fund for me. And
I
I was
didn't even
like,
know.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
they
you
do.
retire, you're going to get a
they
whole
do re-
$24.
Yeah, exactly.
They do
Like
have good
25.
benefits.
It's a
mean,
lot.
The health and the retirement, they do have great benefits
Right.
for you contribute some.
Yeah.
And that's great.
As you should.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
and the same thing for the hospital. Had they unionized, they could have protected workers that were being unfairly selected.
Exactly.
Yep.
And there is one of the reasons why unions are good.
Yeah.
So
why
I
they
mean,
started talking
don't
about
get me
it.
wrong. I'm not railing on the unions. I'm railing on the fact that it promotes laziness within the
It does.
unions
Yeah.
because
It
of the
does.
fact that there are those people that take advantage,
Yeah.
and it's no different than what we talked about last.
As there
week.
is anywhere in life.
Right. There are those that take advantage of the social programs in general.
Yep.
You know, those that need to. And I actually indulged myself a little bit and rewatched all of last week earlier today. And
Even when you fell off the chair.
well, that I skipped through, but you know, I do know that like Christina is a prime example. Made because I missed a lot of the comments last week because I was buried in
Right,
this, so I'm
right.
trying not to this week. But Christine made a lot of great comments about different subjects, and one of the comments she made was the fact that nobody goes and reevaluates anybody.
True.
Nope.
Yeah,
Right.
Once you
that's
get on
true.
a
No.
social program,
Once you're on there forever, you're on there
Yep.
forever.
you're pretty much rubber stamped for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
And that's not the way it should be. Like, I'm 100%, we were talking about this earlier. I'm 100% for those programs. Like, you get fired, you get whatever, 100% you need to be on unemployment. You have kids, your husband leaves you. Yes, food stamps is great, but you still have to be working. You still have to be doing something.
Yeah.
6 months from now that you haven't had a job, why the fuck don't you have a job?
right.
Tell me why. Why don't you have a job? Tell me how many interviews you've gone to, and I want the manager's number so I can call them and say that they didn't choose you. Like, I want to know, but we don't have the time to do that because we have so many people that are still just schmoozling it for years that are taking up time.
Or if
Absolutely.
you're getting, public assistance, it's some way you have to volunteer doing something, whether it's picking up garbage
Something.
alongside the road.
Or let
You-
me, or
you
at
need
least
to contribute in some way.
Or at least let me see you going for interviews. You're on unemployment. I want to see 10 interviews a week that you went to or jobs you applied for. And I want to talk to those managers and actually confirm that you did this.
The
Because
sad,
I can make shit up all day long.
right.
You want
And
to
the
comment
sad
on
part
that,
is you need you would need the staff
For
to
real.
be able to check up on them.
Mhm,
Right,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you can't because you have these people who've been sitting on unemployment for 10 years and nobody, all they do is keep, I need more. And you're
Yeah.
stuck doing that paperwork.
Right.
You want me to comment?
Do you have a comment on that?
I mean,
I
I,
think
would,
it's an
I would
interesting
agree.
point.
I would agree with Taylor, but the fact is, what's better? And I say that because our Social Security is set up the exact.
I
same
was
way.
going to say it's
Yeah.
Social
I
Security.
mean, there's. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
if
not
a
getting
better,
Social Security.
I don't know if there's a better solution.
The problem with Social Security is we're being robbed. That's the problem.
Well,
if Social
Right.
Security
They're
did what
pulling
it was
money out.
meant to do and nobody touched it, I mean, you think about it. For all the years you've been working at this point in your life,
Right.
you contributed a shit ton of money.
Right.
So
But you don't get that money.
But if they would have left the money alone and it was done what it was supposed to do,
would it have?
it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
I
They
don't
kept
know. I don't
robbing
know
it.
for a fact that would have, because the problem is that Social Security was built on a premise that
It was supposed to be temporary, correct?
no, well, I
I
don't think
thought it was
so.
supposed to be temporary.
It could be. I could be wrong. But all I know is the fact that it was built on the premise that it was supposed to be the same size workforce or bigger moving forward. But then come to find out, after the boomers stopped working, then the Gen Xers came in and we're smaller. So the Gen Xers are smaller by, I forget what percentage, but it's a significant amount. And then you get the Gen Zs, the millennials, and they're bigger. They're bigger than the boomers.
Yeah.
So there's an imbalance there.
There's an imbalance, and so the problem is, at some point, the system is not going to work. There's something.
I already know that there's going to be no Social
statistically
Security
somewhere
for me.
it's going to break down because of the fact that you have an influx, then you have then you have a reduction, then you have an even bigger influx. There's something that's going to break down.
We're going to be in China's issue where they have too many people and not enough.
But it also doesn't help that they're spending our money. Like they
No,
think
absolutely.
It's a free, you know, it's just
totally
free for the taking.
100%. You know, one of the things that, you know, when they make Keith co-president is that he's going to be in charge of fixing Social Security.
Yeah.
I got that. He'll outsource that to me.
So I don't want to get too far off this, but getting back to what we were talking about earlier. So to implement something like that, I mean, we live in what I consider a class society. We have middle class, low class, and upper class, right?
Mhm.
So I know the middle class is going away. Okay. But my thing
What are we
is,
going to be then?
how do you implement a socialistic society on a class system like this? Because you have your lower class, you have your middle class, you have your upper class. How would you implement that when there's so much diversity? You couldn't do it. It would be almost impossible to do.
Why is the middle class going away?
Well, and even in socialism, I mean, you still
Don't
have
laugh. It's a real question.
you have those elites. That's still a class. I mean, you still have it. It's just they want you to believe that it doesn't exist.
So you have upper class and then you have elites because elites are so minute.
So
Why is the middle class going away?
my personal opinion on why the middle class is going away is because of the fact that this is a social premise being brought on to try and suggest that the elites, the Jeff Bezos, are getting too rich.
So where am I going to go then?
You're going to become the lower class.
You're going to become the lower class, allegedly.
Yes.
But I don't believe that because of the fact that you control your own destiny. So the other part of that is I think they're rewriting what the classes are.
Yeah.
Because somebody, you know, if they're rewriting history with the whole
That's true.
set, you know, 1886.
I'm like,
project or
why am I
whatever,
disappearing?
you
I thought I
know,
was doing okay.
It's like Back to the Future, right? So, but the whole, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it because
I
it's
agree,
all
Dan.
somebody's social structure that they're trying to pigeonhole everybody into, and they're rewriting the goalpost is changing as to where it is. Like I could give a shit.
I don't fit in a box well. I'm sorry.
But you know, to his point on that, it goes without saying for anything. I mean, if government, it all goes back to if government would do what they were supposed to do, what they were meant for, none of this would be an issue. We'd be able to take care of our own. We wouldn't have veterans out on the street. You know, we wouldn't.
No, because we actually would have taken care of our veterans.
And Dan, I agree with your premise, but you're actually not correct.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because we don't give away enough to be able to make Social Security solvent.
We give
But it would be a help.
If you go back
Let's face it, it would be a help.
If you go back and you look at whatever episode it was where I had all my, you know, Ross Perot charts and crap like that.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, what we give is only, you know, this big versus how much we spend on social programs, which is this big, and how much of this on top of how much we bring in that we are behind.
Yeah.
You know, the deficit. We give away too much money. I totally agree with that.
Period.
You know, and if it were me, I would only give away money to those that, I mean, one of the things that, you know, politics aside, one of the things that Trump was trying to do was the fact that, you know, NATO is a prime example with the whole Ukrainian thing. Trump was pushing that everybody had to give 2% of their GDP. That was the whole way NATO was paying for itself. Trump leaves. Now everybody's going, we just don't feel like we don't have the money to pay. Yeah. We did last year, but we don't this
when we
year.
Had to.
Yes, but now we don't.
Oh yeah,
nobody's there to push us to do it. And so this is the same thing that comes with the Paris Accords. This is the same thing that comes with the WHO. We're flipping the bill for everybody, and everybody else gets to just shirk their duties and go, not a big deal. We should also do the same thing. I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole, but you know, we should also reevaluate who gets our money because we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't give it away. But I mean, we're also giving away money to people in we're giving stimulus checks to those that are in jail. I don't know why.
Right.
That's
Because
just
you have all the money in the
ridiculous.
world to spend shit on.
Wow.
To Christine's point, though, she says, well, where would the lower class go if the middle class became the lower class? Well, you're kind of seeing it now, though, if you think about it, because the people who are considered lower class are now, between the pandemic and everything that's gone on,
They're
the ones
out.
now are the ones that are becoming homeless. They're the ones that are being displaced
Yes.
from
The ones
their-
that were barely
That
making it
are living
already
out on the
are
streets.
now
they're
Those, but
pushed
see,
beyond
where's the vast majority of the homeless at?
in inner
like,
cities.
in life,
And
right?
so,
I mean,
like
well,
in the
but you see-
world.
but
I don't
we were
understand.
talking about it earlier. So we're seeing the vast majority of homeless in the states that are increasingly harder to live in because guess what? There's high taxes.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Apartments are
it's
ridiculous.
happening
property
here because of
taxes,
the high
sales taxes.
housing.
So, you have the vast majority of, I think California has something like 50 something percent of all the homeless population in the country. And the rest of it is split up amongst, the Detroits, the Chicagos, the New Yorks, the Bostons, the whatever,
the shitholes.
and so it's happening
Have
there.
you been to downtown Phoenix lately?
Or Phoenix. I mean, but on the other hand, if those people had an opportunity to relocate someplace to be able to get a job, hopefully, I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot that are
That
unfortunately
choose this life.
or they have some mental thing that needs to be overcome also because they're not on their meds and they're not thinking right, and there's all those different types of issues that need to be. I'll show you that, Dan. I will show you the chart, and so because I did the research. As you can tell, I spend way too much time researching. But
You'd be a great socialist worker.
oh my god, because I'm a stupid son of a
Social
bitch.
worker.
And
Socialist worker because
Oh
he
my-
wouldn't work a lot. He'd just do research.
But now I forgot where I was going.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm laughing.
But
'cause
there's a
all I
lot
can
of
s-
homeless, not just in inner cities. I mean, it is, you got
There-
those people
it's
getting,
trickling out.
right. They have the motorhomes. They're living out in the desert. We see it out here.
Right. And so if we could get them, I mean, and the problem is you get so far behind, and by the time you lose your house, you're so far.
You can't
in a
catch up.
hole, it's
There,
hard
you
to catch up.
cannot catch up.
But a question for you, Wendy. How much of that, I agree with you in that, but how much of that is people saying, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to get an RV and go live off the
True.
grid. How many
There-
people are starting to
I
do
would
that?
rather do
there's
that now.
But there are those
If you look on
that
YouTube, there's a
lost
lot of
their
people.
houses just because the housing. I mean, just here, look at how
Right.
much the
Turn me
housing
off.
market.
look at Apple and her family. So they're trying right now to find a house or find an apartment. So you want first month's and last month's rent. Okay.
Right.
So you're looking at a house that's $2,000. That's $4,000. You now have a pet, you need a pet deposit. You now have a deposit on top of that that's non-refundable, as all places are. I do it for my house as well. So you're looking at a $6,000 to $8,000 deposit to find a place that you don't own.
Absolutely. That's my whole point, that the
And you're not
housing
getting that
market
money
has
back.
gotten so out of control for these people that
How can you do that on a minimum wage job? How can you do that?
absolutely. And that's why they're opting for living out of RVs,
Mhm.
trailers, tenting it,
Being
wherever,
homeless, living
because-
out of your car, living
because-
out.
right, because they can't afford it. The housing has just become
It's ridiculous.
astronomical.
Right.
So
It's absolutely ridiculous.
so it's not that they're choosing, they don't
You
have a
can't-
choice.
Yeah, you can't do it. And then the programs that you can find out there are only for the major cities. So what they're finding right now is that if they stay in Phoenix, they can get help
they're
with their
okay.
with their down payment. But if they look at Chandler, if they look at Mesa, if they look at Santan, there's no help out there because the cities aren't big enough.
Right.
So that's where the issue comes. So you have people who want to move away from that life and want to move away from that homelessness and the whole city, and they can't because there's no option for that.
Right.
Christine, I say go for it. Just go for broke and do it.
Fucking let's do it.
Right? Go travel
Christine,
the country.
you
There
can come
are
and live out with
days.
us when we buy our 20 acres in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, there are days.
I mean,
I hate
Christine,
people.
go ahead and take a look on YouTube. There actually are quite a few people, young and old, some that are in their 20s,
Well,
that have either fixed up an old bus and
Yeah.
gone traveling. and
oh
worked,
yes, the
or
best
they
thing's
found,
huge.
or they found an old boat and they fixed it up. I've seen people that have. I follow on YouTube a couple that they have traveled on a sailboat. They have gone all over the world.
I saw one like that.
They have even actually gone up to the Arctic Circle in this sailboat. It's crazy.
Well, you know, after 9/11 and all the terrorist stuff was going on for all these years, you started seeing a lot more people wanting to live off the grid. And then you started seeing states that their governments made it illegal to live off the grid, made it illegal. I think some states even made it illegal to trap rainwater.
Yeah,
I
and
remember-
like
I
make
remember
your
when
own
that was
power and
happening.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
and they
solar
were-
power, wind
they
power,
were
you
trying
can't
to-
do it.
They were trying to
See,
prevent
that's wrong.
people from living off the grid.
Yeah.
because,
That's wrong because they want
I
to keep
agree.
track of them
Exactly.
and they want to
Exactly.
put them under their thumb.
Yep. Yeah.
Wrong.
Are you bringing something up, John?
I'm trying to find that.
That's why we need to get a bunch of acres and live in the middle of nowhere.
I'm trying to find that the charts that I had that showed how much we spend actually in.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, but
I sense a debate coming on between Bios the Books and John.
You
on these
think?
episodes.
I feel like we
set
have
the
am not-
groundwork.
we respectfully disagree on this point.
I feel like we should have a beer for each of them and 3 shots, and whoever wins
I would be
each
all-
debate
I'd
has
be
to
all
take a
in on
shot,
that.
Ooh, I like that.
right?
I like
Do
that.
you want to talk anything
I
about
think we
should.
on your history of
Social media?
yes?
I think we should. Do you have that?
Okay.
Since we didn't do anything about social media yet.
While I'm looking, this
You've
up.
been hogging the program.
Well, I
10 minutes in, like left, and we're really going to get to the topic.
we'll probably continue
Wow.
next week, but because I really want to talk about how
No, we have a topic for next week. We already talked about this.
We didn't even talk about our topic
I
this
know we
week.
didn't even talk about our topic this week. We're not even going to get into it, really. I mean, I can go through the history if you bring it up, but that's about all we're going to get to.
Oh, I was going to. Oh, all right.
What?
Or we
do
can
that.
just not do it and do it next week.
We can't.
No,
we already
we
have a
can't
topic
do
for
that.
next week.
We can push it back one.
John's
We
gonna,
are in charge.
John's going to be very upset if we do that.
Oh, really?
I can live with it. I think.
What's
that,
John got to pass out next week too?
Well,
He can't-
do you have?
we still have
We
still have our quiz.
I know we got to do all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
got to do the quiz.
All right, so why don't we push this? We'll push the social media. How about we kick off with the social media thing next week? Maybe we won't do memes of the week next week. And
I have
keep,
no idea what you just
Then
said.
we'll keep news short.
Then we get all
I know, but maybe it's a good thing because maybe I'll get people to think about it for next week. Because what I wanted to talk about was how social media has evolved from the late 1980s when it was developed.
Social media
And,
was developed
bring
in the
me back up.
80s.
Yes, and
Seriously?
what it's become now and how it's driven towards socialism.
What was around in the 80s?
So it's
back when Al Gore invented it.
It started, yeah. It started being developed in the 80s. Actually, the first social media platform you can see here was in 1997. Was called 6 Degrees. Didn't last very long, from what I was reading. Then you had Friendster. Was it? Yeah, Friendster
Yeah.
in 2001. LiveJournal was the first blogging site that had come out in 1999. Then LinkedIn. I didn't know LinkedIn was 2002.
Wow.
I didn't know it was that
I
old.
didn't
I
think
didn't
it
know
was
it was that old.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So LinkedIn, now
They're
everybody
at
knows
20 years. Damn,
Wow.
LinkedIn, good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Everybody knew MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
MySpace. I
did.
think everybody had a MySpace thing.
Is that still around?
Yeah, it is. It's actually owned by
It's
owned
Joan.
by I think they were saying Justin Timberlake owns it.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think
Get
he owns
out.
MySpace now. Yep.
That's funny.
I like
Yeah.
him.
So
So, do you know do you know why? What's his name? Started Facebook?
Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
it was started in college. They started it as a platform for people to communicate with each other in school, wasn't it? Wasn't it a?
Oh, you're reading the social Kool-Aid. Okay.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, it was a way for him to rate girls.
Was it really?
What?
Good job. He's not very
Yeah.
cute though.
I was going to say.
Who's he
he's
rating?
An ugly
But this
little-
was at Yale or something like that. So he was
Harvard.
Harvard.
So he
Okay.
launched it in 2004.
Yeah, it was a way to rate girls.
Really, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't see that. So where'd you
By
get that
his
story
rating,
from?
Huh?
Where'd you see that story?
God, I don't know.
Yeah.
Really? I've never heard that.
Known it for years.
Interesting.
by his rating, wow, I'd be
thought
scared
it was,
to be
I
that.
thought it was him and a couple buddies that developed it as like it was just like it was just meant for that school. It was just
Why do you
a
think
social,
it's called Facebook?
Yeah, I know. It wasn't always called Facebook though. It had a different name. I can't remember what the name was. It wasn't Facebook. in the
Butt
beginning.
book?
Sexy
Butt
asses,
book? Is that what
Yeah.
you said? Butt book? No.
butt flick.
Butt book.
Sexy
ass
asses is what I would have
book.
called
Ass
it.
book.
So the scarier part is it has 1.7 billion users.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
And how many people are on the planet? Is it like
Are we at
Seven-
17 billion or something?
Yeah,
Or
17 billion,
something like that. I don't even know.
I mean, you figure. I mean, 1.7 billion. That's the size of India,
Yeah.
and China's like 1.3 billion or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's crazy.
interesting? Yeah.
So Reddit came about in 2000. God, I hate the fact that I can't see this shit.
In 2005, by
good.
Massachusetts 20-something Steve Hotman and Alex
There
Oshinian
we go. Thank you.
as a news sharing platform. It's oh Lord, baby Jesus! It's 3
300
million users.
300 million users. Wow. And Reddit's popular. I see Reddit pop up all the time.
Never
Mhm.
heard
It
of
is,
it.
but I've never gone on there.
It's really tough. Like if you post something that goes against they're really, you think Facebook's bad? Reddit's really
They're
bad.
the Nazis.
really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
yeah.
Reddit Nazis.
If you'll get banned, you can't post anything. You can't. Yeah, it's worse.
So
than
I shouldn't
Facebook.
make a Reddit account.
Probably not.
Okay.
So Twitter founded in 2006 by Jack Dorsey, Evan Williams, and Biz Stone.
Evan
That's a-
Williams, the
Tell me that is not
the whiskey guy.
No, that's
No?
a no.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a come on. That's a porn.
That's
that's
what
a-
I was thinking too.
That's a porn name.
Evan Williams.
Or Biz
No,
Stone.
Biz Stone.
Don't be worried about that Biz Stone.
Yeah.
By 2020, 22% of U.S. adults were Twitter users.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, and I
I
think-
am
I could be
100% surprised.
I could be wrong, but I think most of Twitter was driven by politics.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
agree.
But I'm 100%
Because a lot of the
surprised that
politicians
somebody
got
we
it.
know is not kicked off of Twitter yet.
What did Dad
Oh.
say?
100%.
That guy right there.
That one right there.
Boyd in high school.
He didn't lose his pants.
And his lunch.
There was
money.
no girls
Yeah,
after
and
those
his lunch
pants.
money.
Oh, there we go. We're kicked off of Facebook.
There it goes.
Shit.
Instagram, founded in 2010 by Stanford graduate Kevin Systrom, as a photo sharing site. I do remember that's originally
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it was meant
It was for pictures.
It was
Yeah.
purchased by Facebook in 2012.
Of course it was.
Instagram has more than 1 billion users worldwide.
Was it in 2012? I thought it was more recently than that they linked him.
That's what it said. Facebook was known as what was it called?
Face mash. Because he wanted to mash his face with them girls.
Now Pinterest is interesting because I Pinterest to me is always like they do shopping ideas and craft.
Oh my
ideas and
God.
stuff like
Freaking
that.
women are ridiculous
yeah.
at Pinterest.
So I
But it's so much more than that, though.
I've never been
Is it
on
though?
it.
I
I
really
have
don't
no
use it.
desire to. I'm way
I
good.
didn't either until a friend insisted I needed to. And here I've come and found out that so
it sucked you in, didn't it?
it did. And the funny thing is there are so many cool posts on, man stuff. Like,
like guns
and
survivalist stuff.
yeah,
and-
doing
There's
stuff.
gun stuff on Pinterest.
Yes, there is.
Oh my gosh, I
You-
mean, just
Like
anything
real
you can
men
think
or
of.
like
Like
men
we can
in
call-
men in pink booty shorts?
No, we're calling like gun porn, like AR.
Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah, it's like
Seriously?
not-
Yeah, they
not-
have everything
not
from queer
pornography. I
stuff
mean,
to that.
yeah.
I mean, I don't mean true.
I like gun
pornography,
porn.
but I mean, it's got like guns and stuff like that.
It's not.
It's got a bunch of cool stuff on there.
Oh yeah, it's very.
There's a big surprise.
Just a face.
There's
Wow.
but it was no big deal.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, okay, Bongino Jr.
What is
Dan.
it? He's Biden. Oh, but it wasn't anything personal.
So Pinterest has 335 million active monthly users. That's
Oh my Lord,
huge.
baby Jesus.
That's insane. That's insane.
Snapchat.
I'm
I like
one of 'em.
Snapchat.
Snapchat, I think, is probably the dumbest fucking thing that ever came.
Shut up.
I-
It's hilarious.
I am not. Well, and I thought that too until TikTok came up.
I make an orange
TikTok,
kitty
too.
down to my head.
I know it's I mean, it's entertaining, I guess, but it's more of that dumbing down America.
Yeah,
Right?
we're
Yeah.
retarded.
I think
It's
so.
fine.
I had some nieces that talked me into starting a Snapchat account, and I think I have got it. Who knows how many years it's been since I've been on that thing.
Yeah.
So I can send you a Snapchat, John?
Technically, yes.
Technically.
You can
Yes.
send one to him, not to me.
Do you have one?
That's
Okay.
why she can't send it
That's
to
why
me.
because she doesn't have one.
Now
I don't know.
TikTok TikTok, I really don't even want to waste my breath talking
No.
about it. You
Oh
know,
my
I
God.
put us on TikTok just to try to get some viewers, but I really have an issue with TikTok. I mean, just some of the videos they put on there is
Oh, it
just,
upsets you so
much.
much.
It's
It's just
disgusting.
dumb.
It's really
No,
disgusting.
he
Like they'll
like
put
animals.
like animal cruelty videos on there. And
What?
it just
all the
pisses
time.
me off.
He'll be
So-
so mad. He'll be
Yeah.
scrolling through his phone and he gets super pissed off.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's absolutely. I'm to the point where I'm ready to cancel our account. Just forget TikTok.
Not deal-
'cause I
yeah.
just think it's ridiculous
Well,
that
they
people
cancel it.
entertain that. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
It's-
I say do
Yep.
it.
I don't want to
Cancel it.
support a platform.
We don't need
like
to support that.
That's disgusting.
You can take your $80 million and eat a dog.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what they do. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting. So I'm not even going to waste my time talking
That's
about
fine. But you
Yep.
know, so we are on Twitter.
that. Yes.
Who watches our Twitter account? You, John? Or you do? You should let Dad do it.
I need to.
500. We have 550 followers.
How many?
550.
Really? Wow.
We're on Gab.
Where's
are.
Getter?
Hold on.
Get
we
her
get there.
done.
Getting
We have
together.
61 followers on Gab.
Yeah, Gab, I'm not getting what, like John said, because they don't have a phone app. It's not getting a lot of
So
traction.
Gab
right now,
does
so-
not comply with Apple and Android terms of
Use.
whatever. So they're not allowed in the Apple Store. They're not allowed in the Play
So they're
Store.
computer based
So
only.
you have to log into it from your web
Web-based.
browser on your phone.
Okay.
Stupid.
Getter. Here we are in Getter. Ooh.
Good for you, Dad, because that's how I feel when I see that shit. It just
Get his
pisses-
ass
it
kicked. He needs to
it
get his
just
fucking
just-
trach ripped out.
pisses me off. Yeah, so Ghetto are actually getting some
Get her!
traction.
Yeah, Getter, we're getting some good traction.
Is that
so,
like an
Get her
is that
done.
Get her done.
Yep.
so you just signed us up last week and we have 530 followers.
Yep.
so
And
is it
so
an
I-
app?
It's an app.
It's an app.
I went on there.
Oh,
and
I can get a
actually-
getter?
So I actually went on there and I forwarded, or I guess forwarded. What is it called?
What the fuck?
I reposted
Reposted.
There you
our
go.
episode from today,
Okay.
so that way it would be on there. And then we have our Rumble.
Is it a little red?
It's with the little.
That's it
flame.
right there.
Yeah,
That's Getter.
Get your getter.
yeah.
Lindsay's on
Get her
Getter.
done.
Oh Lord, baby Jesus, you all better watch
Then
out.
we have Rumble.
We got Rumble.
Then obviously we have the Tube.
Face not recognized because there's a mic in my face.
Yeah, and I think we need to get more traction on Rumble. And I know it's because
Well,
a lot
Rumble
of people,
and Getter, I think, are no Getter.
Now we're-
Rumble
now-
and
Yeah.
Now we're on getter.
Locals are combining.
Really
What?
Yeah,
Hmm.
locals.
Locals?
Interesting.
Locals.
I don't know what a
I'm
local
on
is.
locals, but I'm not exactly a fan at the moment because they seem to want to make you pay. Now I think it's to make everything get monetized, but I see way too many times where they want me to pay every turn, and I'm like,
No.
Not doing it. All right, let's do our quiz. We're running out of time
quiz.
because I do have a
Quiz.
COVID.
I'm gonna
update
get on
tonight.
getter. Y'all better watch out.
All
Who
right,
knows what I
so-
can put
Oh,
on
we
getter.
need our letters.
Hold on.
And don't forget, you guys can play at home.
But if you play at home, please put your number on the question and then your answer.
Yeah, let us know what question you're answering.
All right, so I did not get a chance to.
I'm on getter.
You didn't have a
I
chance.
did not get a chance to. I forgot to double check all these. So if we may run into a problem, I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, well.
So
All right,
there
so-
may be a debate. Is that what you're talking
Well,
about?
we'll see. So
Okay.
quiz of the week though,
Ready.
music trivia.
All right.
Ooh, awesome.
9
Oh
questions.
shit.
Nine,
Is
9 questions.
this music like in my genre?
Maybe.
It's
Maybe
probably
not.
all Neil Young stuff.
That's great.
I'm just gonna stick with A.
That's great.
All right.
everything.
Question number 1. What music group was Justin Timberlake part of? Boys to Men, New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, or NSYNC?
I know this answer.
Was it insane? I thought it was Backstreet Boys.
No.
You guess whatever you want, boo
I'm
boo.
going with C. I don't know shit.
Wrong.
NSYNC.
I never listened to that stuff.
What rock band included Jimmy Page,
That's easy.
Van Halen, Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin,
I
or
should
Pink
just- I
Floyd?
should just kept the C up.
I'm gonna go with Keith. I don't know. That's not my genre.
I can't remember.
Led Zeppelin.
Woo!
What country did AC/DC originate from?
Ooh.
United States, Britain, Australia, or France?
Shit. That's not a choice.
I'm gonna go.
Oh my god. That better not show up on my phone again.
Right? That was
Australia.
hilarious.
This I did not know.
See, I was going to go with that.
When I wrote this down, I did not know that. I thought they were British.
Man, I
No.
thought they
Yeah,
were
so
too.
did I.
See how annoying that is?
What genre of music did Taylor Swift start in? Adult contemporary, religious, R&B, or country?
Ooh. You know what? I'm going to throw a wrench into it.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Country.
I knew she was country,
I
but
know she was back and
I
forth.
thought you were throwing a trick out there.
Who is the lead singer of Culture Club? Boy George, George Michael, Michael Jackson, or Jackson Brown?
Sorry, we're not watching the audience, guys. They're
I
all,
don't even know.
Before I answer this, I just want to point out.
What is Culture Club?
It's a band.
I just want to point out that I thought I was very funny today because it's the last name of the previous one is the first name of the next one.
Good
see
job. Hold
Boy
on.
George.
Woohoo.
Number 6. Who is rapper Jay-Z married to?
Oh, I know this.
Oh,
one.
that
Lady
fat
Gaga,
hooker.
Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, or Kylie Jenner?
That fat hooker.
Wow.
all right, I'll go. I'm just going with pure pressure.
That fat hooker who is racist,
Oh.
by the way, if we're going to get into that.
What name is Michael Lee Aday,
Oh, I
commonly
saw this.
known
I
as
saw this. I saw
Prince,
this.
Eminem, Meatloaf, or Sting?
Peer pressure, peer pressure.
Meatloaf.
Oh, was it? Okay.
What singer has had a Billboard #1 in each of the last 4 decades?
Ooh.
Oh,
Mariah Carey, Cher, Dolly Parton, or Madonna? It's a trick question.
All of the above.
yeah.
It is a trick question.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Can I pick 2?
No.
Can I morph it?
Which one are you picking? What's your final answer?
Oh,
Mariah
I was
Carey.
just gonna
That's
pick
right.
that up.
Dolly
too.
Parton has been on the country Billboard #1 or
Yeah.
Billboard for the last 6
a million years.
decades.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why-
because my
that's why
niece
I
used to
picked her, though.
love Mariah Carey.
Before Phil Collins, who was the lead singer of Genesis?
What?
Billy Idol, Tom Petty, George Harrison, or Peter Gabriel?
Peer pressure.
Peter Gabriel.
Because I don't know who Genesis or any of those people
Really?
are.
Oh my god!
I've heard of
and that
Billy
is
Idol.
it.
I got all but one right.
Hey guys, we were really bad. We didn't pay attention to
Sorry.
anybody's choices tonight.
I
We
hope
were
you all
really
got
bad.
them right. And you didn't put numbers in front of your questions, so y'all are
Some,
not right.
some
anyway.
did, some did. Don't
Go,
use
Christine.
them all.
So
Christine, I'm going to send your thing out. I have the box.
was
I'm
it
getting closer.
was it Christine that had the kids that would have known all the Marvel
Yeah.
stuff?
Yes.
Christine, if you can, have them check out next week. We
Oh,
might have
boy.
another lightning round.
Oh.
next week.
Oh, really?
Are you serious?
It was so much fun for me.
Oh, yeah.
Who was
I bet it was.
I
that?
was.
You know what? One of us have to come up with quiz questions so John can play. Right?
True.
We need to do
I'm going
that.
to come up with good ones.
Okay, if you got, we can suspend the lightning round if somebody else wants to come up with.
I don't know
one.
how to
Do you
do
do
it,
this
though.
on? You do
How
this
do
on
you do it?
PowerPoint?
This is just PowerPoint.
Okay. We can come up with
Oh, yeah. And it's only John who's going to have
It's
to do
only
it.
John. Why also did this get personal?
Because it's terrible and you like watching us suffer.
I know, but I come up with the question.
I know.
Christine goes yes, and they're all over 20.
Right?
That's awesome.
Actually, Apple needs to have the kids watch it. I bet you DJ and the kids would know exactly what every single one of those are.
I thought you told them to watch it, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if they did or not. She didn't tell me whether or not they did.
Well, we're gonna have to find out. Apple, you got to find out.
Yes.
I know. Well, they're going to be here next week.
We'll do the lightning round next week.
Okay.
Okay. We'll do
All
it
right.
next week. I'm good with that.
I will come up with a lightning
Okay.
round.
Okay, cool.
So bad.
Nice.
You'd be lightning around at least about stuff that I know about
Maybe.
and not like
Would it-
superheroes.
Would it have made a difference?
Yes. Maybe.
They were 0.8 seconds.
I don't think it
Piece.
would have
But
made
if
a
you've
difference.
never seen these
That's
people, you don't know what they are
They were
anyways.
0.8 seconds.
By the time your
You're
brain
insane.
makes the connect, at least for me, by the time my brain made the
Yeah.
connection with the question,
That was-
then we're on to the next question.
We're on to
You
the
were
next
five.
one.
You were not even the next one. You were 5 later.
I'm sure I was because I'm still trying to figure out the first question. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is the answer to?
It's terrible.
I felt so old
I
because the
know, right?
brain was like couldn't keep up.
I know. I think that's the point. I
Terrible.
think that's what John's trying
John
to prove.
enjoys it.
Yes.
Oh, man. All right. Quick COVID update. I got to do this because
Okay.
I created this today.
All
It was
right.
kind of fun doing this. So I'm going to do it.
Today.
Yes, I did make that today. So beware, there is a new variant. They're calling it MERS, MERS.
I thought it was COVID something or something.
So this is a
Omicron something or other.
neo-CoV, they're calling it. Neo-CoV.
Which means
May be more lethal and transmissible. So a new lethal virus known as neo-CoV has been discovered and may be more transmissible with one mutation according to a new study by Chinese scientists from Wuhan.
imagine that.
Good job,
Imagine
Biden.
that.
Glad
They
you paid for
They
this
should
one.
know.
So they released another one. Is that what we're trying to say?
Yes.
Good
So
job.
though
That's what I'm
some
hearing.
experts are cautioning further study is needed, it has not yet made the leap to humans. According to the
So
study,
what's it in?
it must be within.
And how did
within
they find
animals.
this? Just a random, oh, hey.
Let's release it in pigs and see what happens.
Yeah,
That's kind of the point. Is how did they discover this?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So they're showing that it right now the neo-COVID is only spreading among bats. Isn't that how
Um,
COVID
Started?
supposedly started?
I'm pretty
Let's do
good.
that.
I'm not
That was
around
their
many
story.
bats.
That was their story.
So be on the lookout for that kind of
No.
scary shit.
Don't go near the bats.
So is it because we're making headway on COVID? So now they got to release something
Yeah.
different? Is that what it is?
Well,
Oh,
it's
sure.
because our cancel culture is
Turn me on
people are
real quick.
standing up. Oh Lord.
Oh, geez.
Oh no, here we go. Is this the one from then?
This is the brain quiz.
See how fast it went.
Now I'm not controlling the speed.
Captain America. No idea who any of those people are. Groot.
It's just insane.
I know.
Hulk.
The flame
Come
on,
guy.
this is
The
like
invisible
pop
one.
culture. This
Iron Man. No idea.
This is pop culture.
Nothing.
And
No.
they're all in alphabetical
No
order
idea.
if it helps.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, they are.
That just gives me a headache. I just got a headache from it.
Thor. The
Is that on
Venom.
the- yeah, see, by the time you figure it out, yeah, how did you do? Yeah,
I got 3 of them.
kiss my ass. Jesus.
Doctor Strange. Groot. Oh, I like Groot. Gamora.
Human Torch.
Was her name literally like the Invisible Woman?
Scarlet. I never heard of Scarlet.
They couldn't
Witch.
kind of have
She
her
was
come up with like
I don't
Thor?
know, the third one or something like that.
Oh, really?
they couldn't give her a better name.
You notice they are all in alphabetical order, right?
They are.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was that many people after Venom.
yeah. That makes my brain hurt.
I know,
Sorry.
right?
Omicron, Delta, and
Carnation.
Coronation. What?
Coronation are all islands of Antarctica now. MERS is a new strain.
Name
Name
interesting.
interesting, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right, Kenny? Yeah.
See,
I can't.
it's kind of scary. It doesn't help with it being in alphabetical order. Yeah, same here.
No shit, John. It doesn't help any.
What'd she say?
She said it doesn't
that
help
they're
being in
in
alphabetical order.
We agree, Christine. We agree.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't help me think of them any faster.
Nope, it does not. All right, guys, we are out of time. Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging out with us tonight. Please, if you're joining us for the first time and you're not up there and we can't see who you are, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Go subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. Take your choice. We've had several social media platforms that we are on now, but we do ask if you can, please support us on Rumble. At least go like us on Rumble.
Yes.
Give us a Rumble.
Because
Let us-
there's a high potential that certain people will get us kicked off.
We
of
will get
other
kicked off of the
platforms.
other platforms. So
We're
if you
not
wanna-
naming any names,
Right.
are we?
Not at all.
Okay.
if you want to continue to watch us, please get on Rumble, get subscribing to Rumble. We want to build up our membership there anyway. We think it's a great platform.
Go to
for us
Getter.
do
I'm
what
now
we
going to
do.
be on Getter.
Go to Getter. See, we can't
Getter.
stream live from them yet. So
What?
Yeah,
So
we're
right
working
now-
on it. We're trying to.
Can I
figure it out.
repost that? Like, can
Yes,
I post
you
pictures
can.
and stuff?
Yeah, you can repost that kind of stuff.
Oh, Getter better
And
watch
we
out.
we can do short videos. So
Right. So the crumb I just
Keith's
released.
working on getting some crumbs that we can put on there.
You're
And
going to put some crumbs on your Getter?
put some crumbs on Getter.
Absolutely. Hey, you just all of a sudden this has become
You
really.
can go get her some crumbs.
And I do want to make a big announcement. I was going to put a flyer up there, but the Truth About Beer is back this coming Tuesday. We are kicking off season 4. So
Nice.
join us for a lot of fun with that. We just did a blind beer taste test.
Yeah.
Which
Wait till the end. They're a little saucy.
got a little saucy on that one, but it's going to be a lot of fun this season, guys. So check it out Tuesday nights, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. And as always, check us out every Friday night. Bring some friends along. We need to start upping our subscriptions. And seriously, do go to Rumble, because I think Rumble is a great platform. It's a necessary platform, and we need all the support we can get on it. So take the time, go through that, share with your friends and family. We appreciate it. As always, thank you to our veterans, our first responders,
Yep.
healthcare workers,
Absolutely.
All the police out there
Yes.
that are getting injured, our hearts are
yeah,
out for
be
your
careful.
families.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good.
without the police, you're going to realize what the world's really like. So
Right.
stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
It's just not cool.
Cut that shit out.
So
It wasn't personal.
and if you're a cop out there, be careful.
Be careful.
Yes.
and seriously,
all
thank
means.
you for what you do.
Yes.
Thank you for protecting us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it, guys. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Get ready for the lightning round next week. We'll see what John has got in store for us. Make your brain hurt. But good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
But it'll be in alphabetical order. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be
it'll be
fine. You'll
fine.
figure it out. All
We
right.
got this.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.